how has the team ingratiated itself into Spain, and what kind of team bonding activities have you guys taken part in the little bit of time you've been here?
Yeah, it's been cool to kind of dive right in. A lot of guys came right here right away. It was like, let's get the bodies right. So obviously great facilities out here and wonderful hosts. So thankful for that. Stayed up and a lot of meals. Some guys went shopping, kind of dispersed. So beautiful weather. Like we don't get this type of weather down in Miami very often, obviously. So taking advantage of that, guys getting on their feet, and yeah, it was fun to see the city for sure.
Obviously, we saw the level of jubilation in the locker room after the Bills game. What was that flight like, having been, 24 hours removed, less than 24 hours removed from such an emotional game?
I think the entire coaching staff did a great job of kind of framing that, packaging it up, and allowing for us to protect that identity of ball that we kind of created and leave it at that, right, to allow us to kind of grow through it, to own it. So it was business as usual. It was it didn't linger very often, 24-hour rule, and guys hopped on the plane, and it felt like, we're ready to go to work. So it was cool to see the guys respond like that for a business trip. Obviously there's a million different distractions, but that's the same rep that we've kind of been working with all year. So if we haven't learned the lesson yet, we're a little thick-headed. So, no, I think it's been good for the guys, and the flight was awesome, and glad to be here.
Hey, Caitlin Kaler with ESPN. The Dolphins' international growth strategy is to target the Spanish-speaking nations across the world, and they want to be the team for the Spanish-speaking world. So I'm curious, living in Miami, which speaks so much Spanish, how do you interact with the language Spanish on a daily basis, if at all?
Yeah, so my wife is a healthcare provider, so she's pretty fluent. So I kind of lean on her when I'm traveling. I took Spanish growing up and lost it, didn't really use it. So, no, I think it's really cool to see smiles on your faces. Nonverbal communication's key for me, and then having my wife obviously helps quite a bit. Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, just like, I think the overarching just like feel and vibe, like of people, you see them talking, and a lot of smiles, very easygoing, and it's been fun to see.
Alec, you touched on the team identity a minute ago. I'm wondering, with the growing success you're having with Devon Achane taking control on the ground, is that really another step toward establishing that identity? And how much does it help the whole team to succeed the way you are on the ground? Yeah,
I think Devon has been, his year 3, past couple years, it's been tough sledding for our offense, and we're relying very heavily on him to kind of touch the ball a lot, to be able to move the change, keep us on schedule. So to see him kind of take that responsibility and own it, and the way that he carries himself around the offense, I think is very impressive. So, I think a lot of guys are excited for Von, like for the production, but I do think we do need to take some pride in getting him to the line of scrimmage clean, continuing to improve in our schemes in the run game and the blocking, so we can get our playmakers the ball in space, because they're special when they got it. So I think that's a huge growth area for us.
Alec, I wanted to ask you about this. This is not your first international game. What are the biggest challenges for the players, and I guess maybe the coaches, if you could speak on their behalf? And also, how did the schedule change for you guys during the week? And maybe did you guys go over any coaching points or film or on the plane? I mean, you do have 8 hours.
Yeah. No, I think that was the biggest thing is you lose 6 hours of prep for your week. And I think that's probably a lot tougher on the coaches than the players. We kind of hide that in our off day, so you get 6 less hours off. But, no, I think the biggest advantage, is the camaraderie, being around the guys consistently in the facility, through the team hotel. Like, you're always around your guys, always talking, always communicating. So I think those little conversations is a huge plus for us. And challenges definitely trying to get out of that jet lag, making sure the body's feeling good. But I think the organization, the host city as well as the organization, has done a great job of doing everything they possibly can, so we're prepared to play on Sunday.
Hey, I know there's a sense that the Dolphins have been written off a little bit this season because of the record, because Chris Greer, there's a change at general manager. I'm wondering if it's in your mind at all that by performing well, staying competitive in games, and winning some more games, that you might actually help your head coach to retain his job as well. Does that enter your mind when you're out there? And was it part of the performance on Sunday against the Bills?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really good question, first off, because human nature is a funny thing, right? When you go through a season that we've gone through, your character gets tested, your resolve gets tested, the community gets tested, the brotherhood gets tested, and allowing for guys to respond when you aren't seeing the results, but you know that you're getting better, is really challenging. To continue to encourage the guys around you to keep going, to correct guys and make sure that we're all being accountable for our mistakes, like that is as tough as it can possibly be when everyone can see the immediate results and impact week in, week out. So honestly, like the way that we've been trained all training camp with the coaching staff, I think it's all been about the process, constant improvement, and battling that noise and that human nature to the best of our ability. So when you see glimpses of what we put together last week, I think it gives some internal confidence that the process is paying off. We're growing through what we're going through, and there's light at the end of the tunnel for all of us. So I was really, really pleased with last week, but I think it's just kind of that tip of the iceberg of like, okay, we've seen it now. That's the standard now, and continuing to chase that and replicate it is going to be key for us moving forward.
Hey, Alec, we saw Austin was back at practice. Just on the impact he makes if and when he does return to game action.
Yeah, Austin's been he's been putting in the work, man. I know y'all know he's a couple lockers down from me and always has a smile on his face, soft-spoken dude. So he was very excited to share with the guys that he was going to be out at practice, get some reps in, and getting back onto the field. So he's been itching. I feel for him. It's been a long season for him in the rehab operation, but really excited to have him out in the field. Just big smile, big presence, and you love seeing AJ on the field.